Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 6. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Welcome everyone, I'm Whitney Ward. We begin tonight with a big development in the ongoing controversy over the firing of former Spokane Health Officer Dr. Bob Lutz. The Washington State Board of Health just voted unanimously to move forward with a hearing to decide if Administrator Amelia Clark broke state law in the way Dr. Lutz was forced out.
KREM 2's Casey Decker has been following this story from the very start. He has the details on what this all means for Clark and for Lutz. Casey?
Well, Mark, Whitney, the central question to all this, did Clark in fact remove Lutz as health officer without a public hearing and vote of the local board? If she did, that's potentially against state law, and it's the state board of health that will ultimately get to decide whether she broke the law, and if she did, what to do about it. Well, today, that board reviewed the findings of a preliminary investigation. The investigator told the board that, in fact, yes, the evidence suggests Clark removed Lutz from his position before a hearing could be held. Clark has since claimed Lutz was actually just put on administrative leave pending a hearing, and that hearing did take place and Lutz was voted out by the local board. But the investigator said Clark's claims about leave are not supported by the evidence. Tonight, the state board voted unanimously that there's enough here to go ahead with a formal hearing, though the reasons for wanting a hearing actually varied between members. Some wanted to give Clark a chance to respond, some wanted to get witnesses under oath, some just wanted a chance to get more information in general, and for others, the answers already seem pretty clear here. The hearing is just the legal and formal mechanism to decide what to do about it.
I think we had ample information that was provided that Ms. Clark was wrong. She did not follow the RCW, her role and responsibilities. That is her job as administrator. She should have known. And there's no denying that he was terminated on the 29th.
The board also voted unanimously to hire an administrative law judge to oversee this hearing. They won't be responsible for making any orders or final decisions, but rather just presiding to make sure everything goes smoothly and follows the proper protocols. At that hearing, the board could make any number of decisions about what to do about all this, including potentially removing Amelia Clark from her job. That's still a ways out, but certainly not great news for Clark tonight. Whitney, Mark?
Casey, you mentioned that it's still a ways out. Do we have any sense of how long this process could take?
Well, not really, Whitney. We do know, however, that the board hopes it'll be sooner rather than later. Several board members said they don't want to drag this out. It could be scheduled sometime in the next few months, but it could also maybe be as late as the fall.
One more quick question, Casey. Isn't Dr. Lutz himself on the board? Isn't that a bit of a conflict of interest for him?
Well, yeah, Mark, he is on the board. However, he's completely recused from all of these meetings and discussions for obvious reasons. And actually, Washington State Health Secretary Dr. Umair Shah also recused himself tonight. He typically does sit on the board, but because after Lutz was fired, he began working under the State Department of Health and therefore under Dr. Shah. Shah was concerned that that could be perceived as a conflict of interest as well. So it was just the other 7 board members who made this unanimous decision tonight.
All right, Casey Decker, thank you very much for the latest on that story tonight. New at 6 tonight, Grant County's health district and top health officer are asking everyone in Grant County to continue wearing a mask even if they are fully vaccinated.
Health officials are asking people to mask up for 4 more weeks in all indoor spaces and outdoor spaces where distancing cannot be assured. And here's why. Vaccine rates in the county are low and COVID case counts are still high with 200 cases per 2 weeks. Health officials say they are also concerned about the high rates of hospitalizations and ICU use for both COVID cases and non-COVID cases, meaning there is simply a lot of demand on the hospitals right now there. Meantime, also in Grant County, the sheriff's office is looking for the people behind a video which has now gone viral on TikTok.
So if you haven't already seen the video, it was taken on Moses Lake over the weekend. KREM 2's Joshua Robinson is joining us now in the newsroom with a closer look and some details about what happened. Joshua?
Yeah, Whitney, Mark, the video we're talking about was taken by a group of people on that who were flying a pride flag out on the lake. They claimed that they were harassed by people on a second just before that second boat caught fire. We're going to take a look at the video in just a second. The blue boat is circling around in the water before what we're going to see coming up here. A woman flashing a middle finger toward the camera. Blurred this out, obviously, but the blue boat actually catches fire a little later on, causing the people on board to jump off and swim aboard the ship that they had been circling just minutes earlier. People on board that blue ship suffered from minor burn injuries but refused medical treatment. Now, over the week, at ship. Of course, we're going to, they confirm the rescue of the people on the boat, the burned boat rather, but just today they are asking for help on their Facebook page. The sheriff's office essentially asking for people to come in and let them know what happened when they were asked, so the office can get more information. And after sharing how much the incident shook them up for the rest of the weekend, the group of people behind this video said that they were actually able to get back out onto the lake. Of course, if you're looking for more information, you can check out crim.com, as well as letting Grant County's investigation team know more.
All right, Joshua, we apologize for that, but again, we do have more information on crem.com. You can learn more about exactly what happened and the investigation into it. In the meantime, it is going to be very hot here over the next few days, so we got a friendly reminder for you. Just be extra safe out there. Even if it doesn't feel like it's that hot outside, the inside of your car can get up to 129 degrees in less than 30 minutes. So don't leave your kids in the car. Don't leave your pets in the car, even if you say it's just for a few minutes. Also, be careful walking your pets out on the asphalt because it can very easily burn their paws. And lastly, if you're doing anything outside, make sure you are drinking enough water. If you would like more information on how to stay safe and cool during the heat, just text the word HEAT to 509-448-2000. Most of the inland northwest, though, we know under that heat advisory tonight, temperatures are continuing to climb, maybe even into the triple digits.
Yeah, let's get straight to meteorologist Tom Sherry in the Outdoor Weather Center. Tom, normally we'd be happy about these warm temperatures, or these hot temperatures, really, but my goodness, we're in this drought.
Yeah.
Fire danger is high. This is not a good situation.
No, it is not a good situation. At least, though, this will be short-lived. We're going to get back to normal temperatures by the weekend, even a little bit below normal, and then we'll finally get to average temperatures by next week. But take a look at this heat advisory in effect everywhere you see shaded in orange right now. I'm looking at temperatures that are going to be well over 100 degrees into areas, well, I shouldn't say well over, but over 100 degrees in the lower Columbia Basin. And again, this is just too hot, too early. Quite frankly, we haven't acclimated to this kind of heat yet. We're at 87 degrees right now. The average high this time of year in Spokane is 71. When you take a look at the satellite and radar picture, wish I could show you some much needed rain. That's not the case. And by the way, we're about almost 4 inches under what we normally have in precipitation. Typically our March and Aprils are, cool, wet and windy. Well, they were dry and warm this year, also windy though. We'll look for temperatures in the 80s this evening, and then I've got an overnight low dropping down to 60 degrees. So at least the overnight lows are cool. So Mother Nature will cool you down if you just open the window tonight, maybe put a fan in there. And then that is a record high tomorrow. If we hit 94, that will break the record high of 92 degrees, which has stood for 84 years. We're tracking more heat again on Thursday as well. Then by the weekend, things begin to cool down. I've got temperatures down to 74 and windy on Saturday. About a 20-degree drop from Thursday's high into Saturday's high, and then 68 expected on Sunday. I'll show you the rest of your 10-day outlook, all coming up in a few minutes.
Looking forward to that, Tom. Thank you very much. Well, as you just heard, we are in for some high temperatures this weekend, increased winds in the coming days as well. That combination is a recipe for wildfire.
Not a good combination at all. It's got our local fire crews on high alert for the rest of the week. Wildfire season, we know, is well underway already. Our own Ian Smay talked with one local fire chief about what crews are doing to be ready and how also you can help prevent those fires from even starting.
The Spokane area is in for some high heat tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow's high could be record-setting. But that high heat is just one factor in why local fire crews are on standby for any wildfires that may spark. High heat and steady winds is a combination the inland northwest knows all too well. That combination was what led to the destructive string of wildfires last year on Labor Day, including the one that decimated the towns of Pine City and Malden in North Whitman County. This time around, the risk is no different.
These low humidities, high temperatures, and breezy conditions through Wednesday and Thursday and even into Friday, the fire risk definitely goes up, and we'll definitely be prepared for that.
Sandoval says his crews are ready for any fires that could pop up this week. They were lucky enough to not have to respond to any major fire incidents this past Memorial Day weekend. But that doesn't mean they are letting their guard down for the rest of the week.
We're still trying to figure out what's going to happen with those winds exactly on Thursday. If we determine that they get above about the 20-mile-an-hour mark, then we'll start bringing people in and doing some additional staffing.
Sandoval says that while the district is slightly short-staffed, they aren't in danger of being short firefighters for their engines. But it isn't just the fire crews that can do their part in battling wildfires. Sandoval says there are a number of things people can do to prevent a wildfire from starting in the first place.
Whether it's mowing the lawn, to having their normal campfire, to even having their little campfires on their decks, in their chimneys or chimenea stoves. Just be careful in the next few days, especially because of the fire danger. It just takes one little spark and you'll be off to the races.
He also says that avoiding fires even in fire pits in your backyard or on your porch is a good idea with the increased fire danger. Sandoval did say that they have seen an increase in heat-related incidents with the temperatures rising. So it's important to remember to stay hydrated if you are out, and if you're near bodies of water, be careful. A lot of those bodies of water are still very cold. In Airway Heights, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.
Good information there. And with these summer-like temperatures, it is a good time to get outside. So tonight, the Garland Summer Market is in full swing. We'll have all the details coming up after the break.